I didn't know where you went, Rob.
I was here.
Okay.
It's just the microphone wasn't working all of a sudden.
Mike was already having another drink.
Yes. I'm 2 in.
Even the microphone was like, we've heard, we're done with you.
The microphone's drunk.
Hi. All right, let's get this party started. We got a first guest ready to take the stage. It's the legend, James, or we'll call him Jim. Jim Beaver!
To finish that song.
No, they always stop playing it right when you come over to me.
No, it's weird. And then everybody leaves.
Well, we just want you to have your alone time with the good people of New Jersey. We're here backstage if you need us. Just
Okay.
give us a snap.
If this gets as dull as I expect it will, I'll call you out.
Okay.
Good morning, idiots. How are you? Awful? Awesome. Awful, awesome. Seems like they ought to mean the same thing.
We're awfully awesome. Your mom's back there.
Before we get started here, I'd like to take a moment of silence for my career. I'm really tired and I'm not making much sense today, so just pretend I didn't say that. Where's my daughter? Oh, my daughter Maddie over there. She's easy to spot. She's the one wearing a mask. Oh wait. Anyway, she came over all the way from New York City.
New York City.
She rode a bus 52 minutes to see her old man. Oh, I said minutes. Not that big a deal. But I'm glad you're here, kiddo. I love you too.
We love you both.
That's because you don't know us well. Okay, well, let's get this rodeo started. Hi, how are you?
Good morning. This is my 9th convention, my first question, so I'm a wreck. I saw this on social media, so I know it's true. You put a list of your favorite Westerns and then the ones you disliked. And one of them that you disliked a lot is my favorite, one of my favorites, Silverado. Am I missing something? What am I missing?
Yeah, it's a terrible movie. That's what I think. I know that millions of people love that movie, and I just don't. It's what I occasionally refer to as a clean hat Western. Everybody looks like they just stepped out of the country and Western store. Have you ever had a chance, go on YouTube sometime and look at some of the Westerns that they make in Germany. Germans are very smart, but it's all a little off. And And it kind of reminded me of that. It's like this gigantic, I wanted to love it so bad. I remember going to see it in New York, and I was so excited, and I saw it and I went, that's not, doesn't have what I like about Westerns. I'm not even sure I can tell you exactly what it was, but they were way too clean. And if you saw me in Deadwood, you know what I think about clean. So anyway, I hope I hope it didn't personally offend you, but God, I hate that movie. Hi.
Hi. So, first of all, I'd like to thank you for yesterday for the Tim Amundsen content.
Ah.
And I very much enjoyed that. And I would like to know, Justified, what was some of your favorite maybe scenes or behind the scenes moments with Walton Goggins?
Walton Goggins. You know, I worked with Walton for 3 seasons on Justified, and I can't really say I know him well. And so a lot of my impressions of him may not have much to do with the truth. He intensely works on his performance and the way he plays a character. I mean, he gets very into it, and I don't mean that in a disparaging way. It just to the point where the first time I worked with him, I almost thought maybe he doesn't actually like acting because it was so kind of. It seemed like he was fighting so hard to get where he wanted to go that I thought, man, it doesn't look like he's having fun. However, I've had lots of fun with him on the set, and he's a lovely guy, and that was my very first impression. It didn't really hold up over time, that impression, but he was not, I don't know, I don't know him that well. Sometimes you work on a show and you connect in a way that leads to enormous, long, deep conversations between scenes and things like that. And sometimes you work with people that they're busy doing their work, and you don't get that kind of in-depth connection. And it doesn't have anything to do with friendliness or amiability or being genial or courteous. It's not that at all. It's sometimes, you know, in the old days when you visit the cockpit in an airliner, you know, sometimes the pilot's like, "Hi, how are you? This is the instrument panel, and see out the window there." And then sometimes it's like the plane's about to crash and they don't have time. So that's a really weird way around a touchy question. But I love Walton. He's a sweet guy, and I remember when I think his first child was just about to be born, and we were talking about what it's like to have children, and he was, as I recall, terrified. But lovely man, terrific actor. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, how are you? I want to ask you a question about Be Positive. I didn't start watching it until you said you were on it this season because honestly...
Me either.
The voice of that lead actress grates on me. But what's it like, my question is, what's it like working with such an amazing cast? You've got Ben Vereen and Linda Lavin and so many amazing, Hector Elizondo. I mean, there's such an amazing cast. What's that like for all of you with so much talent and experience to be together on the same set?
Well, on the cast of Be Positive is something that I really, they here? It's something that I really treasure because it doesn't always happen this way particularly for some reason on sitcoms. Not every sitcom you see is full of laughs while they're making it. every once in a while you can get on a show that's kind of miserable to make. And Be Positive is the exact opposite of that. And it was kind of weird because they did a whole first season with a set of characters, and then they brought a whole bunch of new ones in, kind of revamped the storyline for the second season. And you can feel kind of out of place, and the people who were already there can feel like, who are these people coming into our home and running the show now? And it wasn't like that at all. It's been very warm and friendly. And oh my gosh, just the ones they brought in new for the second season. Jane Seymour, Ben Vereen, Hector Elizondo, and me. And I was like, I was the only one I never heard of. And they turn out to be such sweet people. Ben Vereen is almost exactly in real life like he is on screen and on stage. He's just this bubbling fountain of love and enthusiasm, and Hector Elizondo is just as snarky, funny in real life as he plays so much of the time. And Jane Seymour is beautiful, and I get to make out with her.
How's your wife feel about that? Kim is jealous.
My wife likes the paychecks. So, she's a pro. So, yeah, it's great. It's wonderful. We are sitting around with our fingers crossed to see if we come back for another season. And thank you. Thank you. Hi.
Hi. So we all know that the family doesn't end with blood. And over the years, we got to see you play kind of a father to Sam and Dean. And Bobby was never shy about his opinions on John's parenting. But now that Maddie is coming up on the age that Sam was in season 1, what would you as Jim want to say to John?
Now that Maddie is coming up to the age of Sam.
Maddie is only 2 years younger than Sam was in season 1.
So what would I say to John?
About parenting and having a kid the same age.
Oh. You were smart. You got out when you could. I can say that after having raised a fine young woman. Yeah, for John, I think you blew it, pal. But I'm really glad I was there to step in and finish the job for you. I don't. No, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. Thank you. Hi.
Hi. How's your weekend?
It's okay. I'm seeing a few friends.
So my question is, how are you and Bobby both alike?
We're almost exactly the same height. And he's almost as good looking. And he's smarter and braver. Other than that, we're identical, I think. No, I like Bobby's snarkiness. It feels very familiar. And when you're on a show for long enough, they often kind of start writing your own characteristics into the character. And I don't know if they ever did that consciously, but it felt like the longer I was on the show, the more Bobby became similar to me, if not exactly identical. But I like that we're alike. I kind of like that guy. And if I were as brave as he was, that would be cool. But he gives me something to aspire to. Thank you.
So, Tori Spelling
Hello.
and pedicures?
First, I have to say I love you and Bobby Singer so much. Like, you've inspired me over the years, and I love that.
Thank you.
And what do you think? What do you think of the impact Bobby has had on millions of fans all over the world, specifically with his "Family Don't End with Blood" like thing with Sam and Dean, and the quote in general being like tattooed on people and people quoted on a daily basis, stuff like that?
Well, it's a little, what's the word? Intimidating to think that I could show up on this TV show and have any kind of influence on how people think. And most of that influence, of course, is due to the writers and the character they created. But it does give me a sense of fulfillment and real honor that the character has come to stand for something that I think is admirable and that people have taken it into their hearts, and that it has had an impact. They gave me that line to say, "Family don't end with blood," and I kind of knew that philosophy beforehand, but the fact that they put that into words, in those words, in that character, at that moment on the show, and that it led to millions of people like you who believe it and live by it. That's pretty amazing for, a TV show on Thursday night at 9 or Friday at 8 or Tuesday at 8 or Wednesday at 9, wherever they move this. But it's kind of humbling, and if I can say it's humbling and I'm proud in the same sentence, I'm very proud to be the guy who got to say those words, and I'm very pleased that they mean so much to all of you guys. Thank you. Hi.
Hi. So Bobby has given a lot of advice to Sam and Dean over the years. What do you think is some of the best advice Bobby has given to them? And what is advice you think Bobby would give to us?
Don't be an idiot. Kind of wraps everything up in a tight little package, doesn't it? Well, in terms of remembering the best advice I ever gave the boys, that would require me to have a memory. I have one, but it's kind of moth-eaten. I was being funny, but don't be an idiot and family don't end with blood. What more do you need? And I think that applies to you guys as well as it applies to Sam and Dean, although it probably take them longer to get it through their thick heads. So I hope that answers your question. Okay. Hi.
Hi, Jim. I have a question. What was your favorite thing about playing Bobby that you have seen, like maybe in yourself in real life?
What was my favorite thing about playing Bobby that I see in myself?
Or have you like learned anything that maybe in your real life experience about playing your character?
Always kiss the sheriff. And don't let them kill you. That's a hard one to answer. there's so much about Bobby that I admire. That his strength, his determination, his commitment, his loyalty to those he considers family. And I'd like to see all of those things in me. I struggle with them at times, but he's a pretty good role model. He should lay off the sauce probably, but then he might not be Bobby if he didn't throw a few back now and then. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit at sea trying to come up with a good answer, but no. It's my dump. So don't worry about it. I hope maybe that worked. I don't know. Yeah. Thank you very much. Hi.
I'm asking everybody this question. What video on YouTube gives you the most happiness, and have you been kicked out of the game for being too good?
What video on YouTube has given me the most happiness?
Yes, what makes you the most happy? Like if you're down or something, what picks you up?
I'm gonna blow your cover, Maddie. When Maddie was very little, she did a little contest.
No, don't tell that story.
It was a contest where I think you had to sing or lip sync or something, the theme song to a YouTube show, and she did it, and it was cute and everything. And she was very little, but not long ago I ran across that video of her little contest audition or whatever it was, and I watched it again. I was like, oh my gosh, she is so cute.
Remind me to delete that.
She can't stand for anybody to think she's cute, or ever was. But yeah, I can't think of anything on YouTube that gives me more pleasure than seeing that little thing. And what was the other?
Have you been kicked out of the game for being too good?
Have I been kicked out of the game?
A game.
A game. Most of them. No, I don't think so. I did. I was playing Trivial Pursuit years ago with a bunch of people I didn't know except for one friend, and I was winning every hand, and this room full of strangers, especially this one guy, started getting kind of hot under the collar because I was winning and winning and winning and winning, and they didn't know me, and it was like, you're ruining our party. And I said, no, it's just coincidence. I just keep getting questions that I just happen to know, I said, turn over the next card, and I bet you anything that I won't know the answer to the top question on the card. And they turned over the card, and the question was about something I was in the middle of writing a book about. So they didn't throw me out, but I was made to feel completely welcome to leave. Thank you. Hi.
Hi. You had mentioned earlier that they started writing in bits about yourself
into Bobby. So just how much do you love Tori Spelling?
You want to know the truth? I tried to talk them out of that line. It was like Tori Spelling. Oh. Like a torpedo salesman? How are you? In joke. Yeah, I'm, whatever the opposite word for fan is of Tori Spelling, you could probably find me lined up on that side. But no, I don't have anything against her. Just, I don't like her like Bobby does. Hi.
Hi, my question is, we all know that Bobby was such a major father figure for the boys, but in your opinion, if he was their actual father, do you think they would have turned out any differently? Or were they just kind of destined to turn out the way they did?
That's a really good question. I think they probably were bound to end up the way they ended up, given similar environmental circumstances. I mean, the boys got pressed into being hunters and heroes. They didn't just, you know, in middle school say, I think I'll be a demon hunter when I grow up. So circumstances had a lot to do with it, but I think that I don't think it would have hurt if I was their old man. And I think they'd have turned out pretty much the same. I'm guessing. Well, I know. But thank you.
Hi. Hello. Good it's past morning, but a question that was given to me as an older parent of a younger child. Also, my son's only 22. I didn't want my children bringing stupid people home, and I got called out on. Well, what do I mean by stupid? So, for Jim Beaver, what is an idiot? What comprises idiocy for you?
Well, have you heard some of the other questions I've had here? No, today's been pretty good. It's been pretty smart questions. I've had a few
Except me.
idiot questions in my time. I think an idiot is somebody who isn't willing to learn, who isn't willing to expand his or her horizons, who thinks they already know, who doesn't need to be educated, who doesn't need to question their own positions on things. People who aren't open-minded and considerate of the possibility of change, and people who do dumb stuff. It seems like a pretty good definition to me. The classic definition of a smattering. Hi.
Hi again. So my mom actually has a question for you today. She wants to know what you notice Bobby's demographic of fans are based on older or younger, because she's noticed that Jared and Jensen, Sam and Dean have a very younger fan group for the most part. So she wants to know what you've seen.
I think Bobby's demographic is beautiful and intelligent. I suppose you could be beautiful and still like Sam and Dean. I question the intelligent part, but Yeah, no, it's my demographic is people who get it. You know, like you guys. The ones who got up on a Sunday morning to come listen to me blather on. Oh.
Hi.
Did I need help?
No, I thought you called.
No. I was going to go on for another few hours. And empty the joint out.
Well, you need it in
I'll
other
let
parts
you
of
do
the
that.
building. Yeah,
Okay.
That's my role.
Yeah. Well, ladies and germs, thank you so much. This has been
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Jim Beaver! This equals all records. I didn't listen to him by myself. To the music, it's the same song. I ran out of the rocky road. All right, we've got, we're doing our little acoustic show for some lovely people, and then on stage here, an auction is happening. So get ready for that, and then we'll see you back here just a little bit later. Okay.